Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 Hyundai Tucson Hybrid Limited. This is finished off in deep sea. MSRP is just over $41,000, and this is powered by a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out 226 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the H-Track all-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 3,800 pounds. 0 to 60 can happen in just over 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 13.7 gallons. You'll expect to see around 37 miles per gallon in the city, 36 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 108.5 inches. Its overall length is 182.3. It has a width of 73.4, a height of 66.3, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.3 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this Hyundai Tucson, let's start off with the grille and DRL design, because from a distance you might not be able to tell that the DRLs are pretty much incorporated into this grille design. It also has the turn signal. The high beams and the headlights are actually separated in that lower housing. So up front, it looks very, very similar going to the grille itself, which has a nice dark finish. But I really like that unique design. Now there's a forward-facing camera just underneath that Hyundai badge. Parking sensors are up front too. The sensor for the adaptive cruise is on that passenger side, with more cutouts in that lower section. Now very clean lines are also coming down the hood, so it gives it a very distinctive look. And as we work our way to the side, this has a set of 19-inch wheels with another unique design to them, with the indentions that you'll notice in each blade there. There's some of that cladding for the fender arches, both front and rear, as well as the lower side skirts, and then a little bit of a indentation for the back section of that. Now this vehicle also has the 360 camera system, so there is a sensor on the side. We have the camera system on the side mirrors, which also have the integrated turn signal, and they have that two-tone design to them. That brush trim piece, you'll notice, makes its way around the upper window section there. This has a full moonroof too, and some nice lines running down the side. Hopefully you can tell now with a little bit of that sunlight, that deep blue, how it changes color slightly. But there's a nice indentation in the back, and then the line and indentions in that front section there. And from this angle, more of that brush trim that goes to the sides of the rear glass. Now this also has a spoiler, the integrated third brake light. The wiper blade is tucked up nicely underneath, so that way it is not visible when it is not in use. And then take a look at the light bar that runs right through the power liftgate, along with the design for the brake lights on both sides. Now the turn signal is actually located in the lower section of the bumper there. And then this can actually tow right around 2,000 pounds. Pretty adequate for this engine and what this vehicle is used for. Of course, this has the backup camera and all of the parking sensors too. Now, before we work our way to the interior, let's take a look at this key fob. We have lock and unlock. We also have the power liftgate, so you can use this button here. It does have the hands-free option too, so you can just kick your foot up underneath to open or close that power liftgate. But what's awesome about this, let's go ahead and lock it. If I hold this button on the bottom, this is for the remote start. Now you won't really hear it because it will basically start up in its EV setting, but from there, we have these two park buttons. This has the Smart Park Assistance. So if I just hold on one of these, as long as you are within range, you can actually start to move the vehicle. Now, as soon as I let off, it will stop in either direction that you're using, and then with it in reverse, you will hear it beep. Because it's so quiet, you need something to let you know that the vehicle is moving. Once I let off, it will stop, and then you can shut it off from there. It's a really cool system. I've used it in my driveway to move the vehicles around, so it is very helpful. And then from there, we have it off. We can move on to the cargo space. So a really cool feature that no other manufacturer is doing at the moment. And once we work our way to the cargo space, there is a lot of room in the back. There's even some storage underneath the floor if you want to place some items down below. And then there's a 12 volt. There's also some tie down hooks too, so you can secure some items down in the back. And you can also fold down the back seats, but you can do it from the cargo space. So simply just pull on those tabs on both sides, and with them down, of course, that is going to give you a lot more interior storage, which is nice, especially for the size It's actually very, very spacious. And then there's the button up top where you can close that power liftgate. Now, as we work our way to the back seats, it's locked right now, so I can just grab the front door handle. There's no sensor on the back door handle there. But for the interior, we're greeted with the white leather. There's the gloss black and brushed aluminum trim accent up top. A little bit of storage with one speaker, some gloss black. These are even heated rear seats too, which is awesome to see. And then as we work our way to the back, check out how much you can recline these seats. That is all the way up position 1, and then you can recline them too to really give you that much more of a comfortable seat once you are in the back. Now behind both front seats, there's the storage nets, there's climate vents, even some auxiliaries down below. And at 5'10", I have plenty of space, even with the front seat set at my height. And then as far as the back seats go, with them reclined, you'll notice I have a good bit of space, but it also makes it that much more comfortable. And if I lock it up into this position here, it is straight up. You're probably not going to be riding around like that, but you can adjust it with several different angles there just to get nice and comfortable. So plenty of room with those adjustments too. Right in the middle, there's the armrest and 2 cup holders if you need to use it. Now there's a little bit of a pillar right there, but the glass on both sides gives you the added visibility that you need. And there's the full moonroof too, like I mentioned earlier, so it provides you with a lot of light. Now up front, same design of course, a little bit more storage down below, all the window adjustments, side mirror controls too. And then we have the same design for these seats. Now they are heated and ventilated up front, as well as power operated for both the driver and the passenger. And for the steering wheel, it's finished off in solid leather. We have a lot more of the brushed aluminum controls. On the right side, this is how you can adjust cruise control, the lane keeping assist, even distance pacing. And then you have a few controls for the digital gauge cluster. Left side is going to give you voice commands along with Bluetooth. You have volume and tuning and even a favorites button too. But let's fire this back up and we can go over the rest of the info for the gauge cluster here. So on the far left side, there's the miles per hour. Right side shows you your charge, eco, and power for that EV system. You'll notice EV is currently lit up because we are not using the accelerator right now, so we're just running off of that EV system. Now right in the middle, if I use that pages button, we can look at the compass. There's even where the power is being sent, TPMS, and then you have engine temperature, and then you can pull up your attention level and your distance pacing, so you can monitor that. And then you have some other vitals like your miles per hour and some of your drive information that you can monitor as needed. And we're back to the compass. Not a ton of info, but it's very helpful to be able to go through. This also has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Those are finished off in brushed aluminum on both sides. And then on the left side, dimmer switches, you can open and close that power liftgate, traction control. There's also a battery reset. This does have memory seating adjustments, and you'll notice too that that trim piece flows nicely with the air vent and that curve there. So it makes it look like it's one continuous piece leading all the way to the infotainment system. So right now, this is the calm screen. It shows you the date and the time, as well as if you have the music on, and then some information on that top right. Now, if I swipe over, here are all of the icons that you can go through, including the hybrid one. So if I just click on that, you'll hear it beep too. You can go through your fuel economy, look at your energy flow, some other information like that. There's your map, your phone projection, so you can pair your phone to the system. You can get into your climate adjustments, so that way you can easily go through all of that. We have the radio setup and a few other icons that you can go through. So it's very quick to the touch, gives you a lot of info right there. But underneath that, you have a lot more shortcuts. So I can quickly push on map to get into the map there. I can go to media or radio, and then even get into setup there. So it doesn't matter which one you'd like to use. Favorites button is right in the middle. You can easily go through that. There's power for your audio along with volume 2. Now what's interesting is that I wouldn't call these physical buttons. It's not a rotary dial for your volume. So if you want to turn up the volume, you can actually just hold on it if you'd like to, rather than just tap on it. And that goes for everything else, including your temperature for your AC there or your heat. You can just hold on it, which is nice, so you don't have to sit there and just tap on it. But you have fan speed underneath that, defrosters, you have the heated mirrors, sync for your AC, and all of that. So it's a very nice system. It looks very clean too. Not a whole lot of controls to go through. but it definitely gives you a lot. Now underneath that, there's a good bit of space along with some auxiliaries so you can charge electronics. And then we have a row of buttons here for your heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, there's a downhill assist control, the parking sensors, and then a shortcut to the camera system. So if we pull that up, there's the top-down view along with the backup camera at the moment, and we have a few different angles that we can go through, including the side view mirrors to give you that added visibility. Now in order to put this into drive, I will just push the D on the back there, and then our camera angle will change to the front, giving you that additional visibility. Now reverse is on the top, neutral's in the middle, and then park is located to this left side. Now there's also a few different driving modes. There's even a center locking differential for this. But with the drive modes, there's snow, eco, sport, and smart. So just depending on how you are driving this and the terrain that you are on, having that center lock is definitely helpful when you are off the pavement. Now there's two cup holders on that one side. We have the auto hold and the e-brake. Right in the middle, a little bit of storage in the center armrest for any items you'd like to place there. And then of course there's the glove box where you have additional space. Now up top, there's all the dome lights and the controls for that sunshade and the sunroof. Currently it is open, gives you a lot of light like I mentioned earlier, and as far as visibility goes, over that right shoulder, it's pretty easy to see. Same with over that left side as well. As we set up now behind the wheel for this Hyundai Tucson, I've been in this for about a week so far. I really like how this rides and drives, and for $40,000, give or take a little bit there, 41, I am very impressed with the amount of technology and what you're getting out of this vehicle. For being 40 grand, we have a lot of interior tech that you see on vehicles that cost well above where this vehicle is. So if you want a brand new vehicle that's also underneath the average price of a brand new car today, this is something that you can relatively easily get into, and you get pretty much everything that you need. It's pretty much fully loaded with this limited trim level as far as everything goes. And so you get a lot of creature comforts, you get a lot of great amenities. You also get a relatively smaller size SUV that's incredibly easy to drive, it's easy to park to, yet it still offers a lot of interior cargo and space, and you get it as a fuel efficient SUV. We've gone through half a tank so far, but driving it almost all week. That's very impressive for the driving and what we've been doing with this vehicle. Now, as far as putting all those miles on it and driving it, it is a very comfortable vehicle. It's very well insulated, so there's not a lot of road noise, wind noise, there's no tire noise. It's what you would expect for a vehicle like this that you will be daily driving. And then let's talk about this being a hybrid. So we have that hybrid system. It's not a plug-in hybrid. So the EV system, if you're not putting it in eco mode, you can have it in sport mode and still use the EV settings. It basically is going to do that for you. So as we're just coasting basically, following this truck in front of me, it still has the EV symbol lit up because we're not on the throttle. We're not really using any of the gas part in doing that. But once we have it in sport mode, and any other time you give it gas, now we are using the engine. And I'm impressed with the peppiness that this smaller 4-cylinder has. We were up to speed without even really thinking about it. And then we can go back to using that EV once we're coasting and once it kicks in. So one downside I would say to not having a plug-in hybrid is that you can't strictly pick using EV. It's a really good hybrid assistance though for that better MPG, stop and go traffic. It'll switch to EV. So it's basically an adaptive system. You have that hybrid adaptive tech. So I think it's really nice to have. I think it's better than just strictly having a gasoline engine or vehicle. And from second gear, here we go. And with a mild acceleration, we are back up to speed there. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm very impressed with the peppiness that this engine has, and for its weight too. It doesn't feel like it's struggling by any means with this engine. With the hybrid too, it gives you that additional torque that you need to get this vehicle up to speed, and having that all-wheel drive system is definitely a plus. So now that we are behind the wheel from this angle, driving this $40,000 Hyundai, I would say that's a good bit of money for a Hyundai. But when you consider what this has as is, what I love about Hyundai is they have their different trim levels, of course, like other manufacturers, but they don't really have additional options that you can add on. So you're basically buying the model you want that has everything, if that makes sense. So if you want everything that this model has that we're looking at, you go with the Limited, because this is what you get with every Limited. There's no added bells and whistles. It's strictly what you get. And one thing that I didn't show earlier, what I love about Hyundai is that you get the digital camera in the gauge cluster. So I can even see the vehicle behind me through that camera system, and it definitely helps with out on the highway, merging, things like that. And of course, it's on both sides too. So it takes away from your blind spot. No other auto manufacturer, aside from Kia, of course, is doing that. And I think that is very beneficial, especially with the technology that we have today. So even small things like that, you are not going to find on more expensive vehicles. And so you get a blend of really good technology for that price. You get great warranties too, from what I've seen from Hyundai and including Kia as well. But as far as driving this, super comfortable. Seats are really easy to adjust. We have the heated and ventilated seats too. It's a really nice place to be. Backseat room is pretty adequate too, and being able to recline them is definitely a plus. And just the amount of storage. We have garage door buttons too, located underneath the rear view mirror there. And it's a nice place to be if you're looking for a brand new vehicle and you don't want to spend an astronomical amount of money. 40 grand is still 40 grand, but it's within reason for many more people to be able to afford this. And I think that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Hyundai Tucson Limited Hybrid. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads, and I will see you all in the next video.